how to have conversations with your significant other that might be difficult, that might be very anxiety inducing, okay? But let's go straight into a situation. You have a girlfriend or you have a boyfriend, you have a partner, okay? And one of you guys, you probably, because you're watching this video, you have something that's bothering you. You got triggered in some way. It's kind of the best way to put it. It's like you got triggered, there was a button that they pressed, something happened and it really bothered you for whatever reason, okay? What do we do? Because here's where people go wrong. Let me go straight into what people go wrong and where you probably have went wrong and where I definitely went wrong in my life. The mistakes that you can make, there are two obvious ones. One is straight up attacking the person, okay? Straight up just attacking them. You never want to do that. And I call this being anxious, okay? Attacking the person and being like, oh my God, you're like this. You did this. I know you did this because of this reason. I can't believe you did this stuff. You are such a this person. Right? Something like that. That's the avoidance. That's the anxious. Now, what is the other mistake you can make? Being avoidance. And I've also done this in my life, and I've also had this happen in my relationships. And you might have as well. So let me explain to you what reaction that is. And by the way, understand, that's what makes these two things mistakes, is that they are reactions. You don't want to react in these moments. And honestly, in life in general, you don't want to react too much. You want to respond. You want to be conscious and be able to not make obvious mistakes. So, what is the avoidant mistake? The avoidant mistake is the moment you get triggered, you shut down, you push them away, you withdraw. And what's interesting about this is like some people think this is good. Some people, especially if you go on red pill stuff on YouTube, you'll find a lot of information that actually tells you should pull away, you should push away, you should withdraw. And it's very tricky because I'm not saying you never want to pull away as a man in a relationship. I do think if you maybe gave too much interest and you feel like you overextended, then maybe you do need to like withdraw a little bit, but that's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about here is like, let's say you're in a fight with the girl or with your significant other and or something happens, they do something, and then you just in that moment, you're like, you know what? I'm not going to do this right now. I'm leaving. And then you just leave. You storm out of the place. That's happened to me. That's happened to me as in like I've seen the girl storm out of my place. And it's happened to me as in like I stormed out of the place. And that's not good either. It's not. You're just running away from the inevitable situation you have to deal with. Remember that. You are running away from the inevitable situation you have to deal with. Very key point. I want to just give you guys seconds to process. Now that we know the two mistakes, which is attacking and avoiding, what is the correct thing to do in these moments? When you get triggered and you want to express how you feel, which you should. You should want to express how you feel. And guys, this is more about relationships. This isn't first date advice necessarily. But if you're in a relationship where you love each other and you want things to grow, then you have to be able to have these conversations. You have to. Without these conversations, the relationship will fail. I guarantee that. So now let's get into the number one thing. Let's get into the most important part of this video, which is the actual technique itself that's going to save your relationships. You know what it is? It's called SEW. S-E-W. So, what this means, it's an acronym, okay? What it means is sensation, emotion, want/does not want. So essentially, let's say you get triggered by your partner. Let's say she was late Yeah, let's say she was late to something that was very important to you, and it just triggered you slightly. Full transparency. I don't know if you're watching this. I don't think you are, but the girl I'm actually currently speaking with, she's a little bit late right now in this moment. And I'm not going to lie, in that moment, it slightly felt a little bit of fire in me. And I'm aware of it. I'm aware. I'm that kind of person that when someone's late, it definitely, I don't know why, I guess because I'm a very punctual person, especially for like dates or things like this, right? But anyways, let me not get too deep into that. You talk about your sensation. So let's say you're late, right? Or let's say the partner is late and it got you mad and you see her in person and you want to express the emotion. Okay. Honestly, this is probably better for deep, big problems and big triggers. So let's just say for whatever reason you are extremely triggered, like you are pissed off, dude. Then this is what you do. You go into S, which is sensation. Talk about the sensation you feel, okay? This doesn't mean you say, I'm pissed off, I'm angry, I'm this. No, you literally talk about the physical sensation itself. It could be you feel tightness in your chest. It could be you feel like your head is just hurting, it's buzzing. It could be like your whole body's weak. It could be like, oh guys, 1 second, I'm getting a call. We're back. I had to go, some long story, but anyways, what I was saying is you go into S, all right? That is the sensation. You go into that first. So for example, I'm feeling a tightness in my chest. I'm feeling like my head is rushing. My thoughts are racing. I'm feeling XYZ and I'm feeling XYZ. I feel tired. I feel my heart hurts. Whatever you say, my stomach. I feel like anxiety. I feel like stomach weirdness. Whatever you say. You say that, she says that, and then you talk about your emotions. And your emotions is you talk about what emotions you feel. So there are 5 core emotions, okay? There's a lot, but I think there are 5 core ones that people should be aware of. They are sad, which is the lowest, kind of most painful one. Then there's angry or anger, which is like right above that. There's some energy behind it, but it's still not a good emotion. There's fear, okay? Fear/anxiety. This was interesting. And then there's one right above that, which is glad. You're happy, right? Proud, glad. And then there's excited. Those are the real 5 core emotions, right? It's quite interesting, but one's like you're kind of sad about what happened. The next one is like you're angry about what happened. The next one is like you're fearful of what could happen. The next one is like you're glad what happened or is happening. And then the final one is you're excited for what's going to happen. Very interesting. It's interesting how they all relate to time. But anyways, you tell the person how you feel, your emotions. And then you go into W, which is what do you want? I would like for you to show up on time. I would like for you to show up on time, right? And then the other person, the woman in this case, would tell me how her SEW, her sensation might be, currently I'm sensing nothing. My emotion is, I feel a little bit of sadness. And then she goes into W and then she's like, well, I would like to show up on time too. Perhaps you don't have to go deeply into this when it's something not that deep. But with that being said, I'm telling you, if you feel like you're with your girl and you guys are really struggling to communicate your emotions, do the SEW method. It's a great way of communicating without fighting with her. It's a great way of you expressing how you feel and she expresses how she feels. And you take turns and you don't talk over her. You don't fight her. You don't get mad at her. You try not to do that, man. I know it's difficult, but you try. And guess what? She's going to try herself too. And she's going to try the best that she can with the resources she has. Remember that. People do the best that they can with the resources they have. Do not judge your woman in that moment. I'm doing this as a reminder for myself because it isn't easy. It's not easy to stay extremely calm, extremely grounded when she might be attacking you in that moment, when she might be in the wrong in that moment. that doesn't mean you could just be in the wrong as well. It doesn't mean that. Stay non-reactive, stay calm, express your emotions, let her express hers, take your turn, take your time. And then over time, what's going to happen is you guys will find out that both of you, most of the time, want the same thing. Both of you just want love. Both of you just want to be connected. And it comes down to, okay, well, I want this. Can you do this? And then she's going to be like, yeah, I guess I could because I love you. Or vice versa, right? She tells you she wants something. You're like, you know what? I get it. I could do that because I love you. Yeah. All right, guys. So if you like this content, you want to get better at relationships, confidence, communication, any of these things, link in my description to work with me personally. Amazing talking to you guys. We'll talk soon. Have a great day. Peace out.